Hi, you guys. So, yeah, I'm back again. So, I wanted to start. I know I put, what's his name? Donald Glover on here first. Because I don't really have a whole lot to say about what he said. He was conducting an interview for, I guess, a magazine or something. I'm assuming a magazine. And he was interviewing himself. I guess Childish Gambino is interviewing Donald Glover. However, they were trying to make that make sense. But he started saying something about, and listen, I keep saying this in all of my videos, you guys. When people start race baiting, they're trying to sell you something, and you guys are now gonna. I'm gonna keep pointing these patterns out to you guys so you can really catch on to it. But yeah, he started saying some random stuff about, do you like black women? And this guy asking himself that. And then he said, "Why are you asking me that? I feel like you're asking me about black women. Are you afraid of black women?" Or something, how he worded it. Um, I feel like you're asking me this because you you're trying to question my blackness. Now, why is he having this conversation? I don't know. I really don't. And so that's what I'm saying. Like when you see people doing, like Paula was out here frying chicken and looking like she never stepped foot in the kitchen before. Um, you kind of know that people are reaching for something, and they know that people are going to create stories and content around this, and it kind of puts their name out there in the center of conversation, right? And I know that the show Atlanta, I think it was supposed to come back for the final season. I think I'm not sure exactly when it's going to start, but I just feel like, first of all, is that really the place for that conversation? And did he answer the question? Right. And I don't think that he answered the question, from the segment, from the write up that I saw. And a lot of people were just kind of puzzled by why he was even doing that in the first place. And like I said, these people, these celebrities, when I say these people, that's who I'm referring to, and politicians as well. These people started race baiting. We can file that whole Jussie Smollett situation up under what I'm saying as well, because for attention, right? And so, there's no reason for you to have a conversation about your relationship with black women, right? It's just not. And you don't owe anybody an explanation about it as well. And I think this is the problem with a lot of these guys, and this is why black people keep saying, do whatever it is that you're doing, get it how you live it how you live it, go wherever you need to go. But you don't need to keep black women in your mouth. Like there's just no reason for that. To my understanding, he's married, right? So you're in a marriage. And then, I'm also wondering if he questioned himself about his sexuality, because that has been out here as well. So if you're trying to say something about black women saying something about your marriage or whatever, or anything else that you've said, and then you should question all the stuff that's said out here about you, because people have questioned that as well. And so have that conversation. Ask yourself about that. And, like I said, I don't even think he answered the question about the black, you know, people questioning his blackness. But, ask yourself about that. You don't have to, everything don't have to keep falling in the laps of black folk. And then you're going to turn around and try to sell us something. And maybe that's supposed to be some type of guilt trip to make y'all run over there and watch Atlanta. I don't know. But I'm like with the people on Twitter, it's puzzling. And I'll just leave it at that. Only he can explain why he's doing that, but I think that he's only doing that for attention, right? Um, anyway, right, while you're interviewing yourself, you you should already have these answers. So anyway, moving on to the next story. What was the next story? Because it was a bunch of stuff that I want to touch on. I know that I want to talk about Jazzy Jeff, because and I notice a lot of people are not talking about what he said, but everybody's talking about this clip that's been on Will Smith's YouTube page for a long time. And I think when last year sometime, I had brought that up, that the way he was talking to her in that video, which is funny that now people are talking about that. But they've already informed you guys that they've had marital issues. They're not always on the same page, but they will get back on the same page and get on you. So be clear. I'm not gonna get off into that whole thing about him saying, because I think people understand what he was saying just when you listen to the clip. And Will and Jada have been together for a long time. Okay, so is that part too. Whether they are together or just in the same house, whatever, they've been together in a partnership for a long time. So you should not expect that everything to be peaches and cream between them all the time. That is not real life. Okay, so please cut the nonsense out here. But I think that people just want to do this whole witch hunt on her for whatever reason. It is what it is, and I'm sure you guys have heard that he's been suspended from the academy for 10 years. I don't know why he should care. I don't know why I should care, and nor do I. But yeah, they're saying that he's suspended for 10 years. I guess that means he cannot attend and he will not get nominated. Um, you know, not that he was going to get nominated anyway. But I digress. I guess I'll go ahead and talk about what Jeff said, because Jeff was in a conversation with a podcast recently. And of course, that is Will's best friend. They've been together since back in the 80s. The DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. So called. So anyway, he was asked about Will. And of course, people eventually they're going to start asking their close friends about them whenever they can get them cornered to say whatever. And of course, he responded. So I'm going to play a snippet of what he said. And this is from somebody else's video, child. But because like I said, I saw the video this morning, but when I went back to find the video, I can't find it from the radio station or the podcast that he was talking to. But you can find all this nonsense about Jada everywhere. But anyway, here's a snippet of what he had to say.
The thing that I realized is I don't know too many people that has had the that this is something that you said. It's not it was it's a lapse in judgment. Exactly. And I think the thing that I realized is I don't know too many people that has had the that this is something that you said. It's not it was it's a lapse in judgment. Exactly. And I think the thing a lot of the criticism comes from the people who don't think people like that are human.
And to be honest with you, we've talked.
Yeah, so he was saying pretty much kind of what I said in one of my. I don't even want to talk about that whole thing anymore. It's so just annoying at this point. But it was kind of like I said, like all the times that they could have snapped on people if they was about that life, okay. And if they was really about their life, they could have snapped and jumped out some cars on a few people, because people have been very disrespectful to their union and to them anyway over the years, and people get tired. And like Jeff is saying, he's human. People should expect human beings to make mistakes. And I think it's a lot of fake stuff going around. And then a lot of misery. People don't want to see other people happy. People probably upset because he married to a black woman anyway, and all that nonsense that goes along with that. Um, so, I agree with Jeff, and I said that myself. Like, he probably should have snapped on a few people already. And people keep saying, well, why didn't he snap on August? You guys know that August was sick, and I don't even know if he's still dealing with a health condition or not. No one should go and hit somebody in that condition, and no one should be trying to instigate that type of behavior. And, I don't think Will is that person. I think he's bigger than a lot of folks that's running their mouth. That's what I think. And I said when I said it, I don't have to know him personally. I don't think he's perfect. No, trust and believe that. In no way, shape, or form. I have already spoke on him and some tones that he have taken already myself. And I've said a whole bunch of other stuff about him. Um, that is just my opinion. But I'm not disrespectful. I'm not going to go up in somebody's face and start talking reckless to them, or go into a non-black setting and try to humiliate that person's wife or husband, or children. You understand. So, and That's it in that song. I agree with Jeff. People don't have to be perfect. People don't have to fall in line because you just think they're supposed to always fall in line. Life don't work like that. It doesn't work like that for nobody else, and nobody should expect it to work like that for Will. Period. Then I wanted to jump on Benzino and his daughter, who is so adorable, Corey Leray. And this girl is trying to get her career off, and instead of Benzino really getting behind her as a industry father like he should, or you just kind of stay out of it and let her run her thing how she want to run it. He keeps having these outbursts. But it is what it is. We can't pick our parents' child. So anyway, she was in an interview recently, I guess, with the Breakfast Club, and she started talking about her childhood, her upbringing, her relationship with Benzino, who is her father. And if you're old enough to really remember the source story, now I thought they were saying at one time there was going to be a movie um, about this, or a documentary or something in the works about the Source magazine. I don't know. I don't know if that's still on the table somewhere or not. I don't, if David Mays is on with it, Benzino will have to, I guess, agree as well. But see, I go back with the Source way, way back. And I don't remember Benzino in the beginning. I'm just going to keep it real about that. I remember when it was like a little thin, you know, newspaper looking type situation. And I don't remember Benzino. It was this white kid that was into hip hop, right? And so somewhere in there, and somewhere in the '90s, Benzino showed up, and maybe he came in and started investing in that. I really don't know the full story. That's why I thought they were saying something about a movie or a documentary to kind of break it down. Um, but the magazine started to take a fall, right? And I guess in her interview, she said once the whole Source thing kind of crumbled, she said they were going broke or something. And I guess he was still with her mother at the time. I believe there's another sibling. I don't know Benzino's how many kids he has. I know he has a few kids. But I guess he was with her mother at the time of the whole Source magazine situation. And you guys know he had the whole battle with Eminem. And, the magazine just started to take a dive because it started the integrity of it all just started to look, it wasn't there anymore, right? And so she brought that up in her interview. And why she do that? Because he got upset, I guess. And to my understanding, from when she posted, he started threatening the mother. And I'm assuming because, I don't know, I guess he feels like the mother may have told her that. Maybe she was too young to really know what was going on back then. Um, he said, he posted in his stories, and I'm not sure if it's still there. It says the problem with this social media generation is they have no respect or regard for who came before them and how they laid the blueprint for them to be successful. I always revered those who came before me, and I am grateful to the legends of hip hop. Um, so I don't know if he's referring to himself and his daughter or not. I don't know, but he posted this today. Um, He says, the only thing that matters to me is what I can see and feel, and Benzino is loved all over the world. I mean, it's not personal to him. He was young. They were young when the whole Source thing happened, I guess. Um, I don't know. I don't think that she was lying. I think that they probably took a hit because the magazine definitely changed, right? And I think other people came in, maybe they sold it or something. And people didn't know that it was sold, and the magazine started to take a different feel, different look. So, I mean, I think that she has a point. Maybe he felt like that was something very personal that she should have cleared with him. But just like he should have cleared when her song came was going to come out with Nicki Minaj. So it's like they're going tit for tat, and maybe this is a lesson for him to kind of stay out of her stuff, let her go ahead on and handle her career, especially if you're not going to really get behind her in a motivating way, and just kind of make sure that she's getting fair opportunity, right? With every doors that he can open for her. This is your child. You should want to see her do well. And I don't understand the rest of the conversation. That's just how I feel about it. But from people, what people say, Benzino has a bit of a temper. So I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't see the big deal about her telling that story because I think people who know the story behind the Source magazine already know that anyway. They would already have figured as much, right? For them to sell it, for it to really change, it wasn't the same quality as it was before. When David grew the magazine to become, it just wasn't the same. So towards the end, and then though, like I said, those other people came in, and I just kind of fell off from it and hip hop altogether. So I don't know. I just feel like I wish he would just support his daughter and kind of stay on that end. Let me know what you guys think about all of that. Like, these celebrities have kids in the industry, and they out here doing all kind of stuff, and I don't know. Let me know how you feel about the conversation. And what do you feel about what he's saying about them not respecting the people that came before them? I think that she just probably was not even thinking, right? Because maybe the Breakfast Club, maybe they just brought up that whole thing about the Source. I don't know. I didn't see the interview, but let me know what you guys think. And the other story that I wanted to touch on in this video was what? Let me see. Because there's so much stuff. Oh, DJ DJ Academics. Do I have the audio for that? He is saying that. Well, I guess I can just talk about it. He's saying that Megan has listed him in a lawsuit. You guys remember when he came out on Twitter and he started when they were going to court, but then the judge didn't. They didn't even have a session. The judge rescheduled, right? Um, so he started saying stuff about evidence, or he was saying it was evidence of that Tori's fingerprints or something wasn't even on the gun, or gun residue, and some type of information that he should not have put out here. He tried to put out in respect to the case between Tori and Megan, and I guess Kelsey and whoever else was in the truck. Um, and so I think that her lawyers probably pulled him into it because they're probably going to question him about where he got that information from, right? And so that's what I'm saying. I don't know what is it about all of this that's making people feel like they're above the law, or that they don't have to respect the justice system or how things are supposed to go. I don't get it. That's just my opinion on all of that, because I don't know why he would put that out there anyway. I didn't get how that was supposed to help him, because to my understanding, there were eyewitnesses to that whole situation anyway, right? And so I'm just trying to see if I can find this video.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's mad pages of documents, like, talking about, oh, academics said this, academic, like, breaking. It's like a lot. Nigga, the last quarter year was more about me than Tory. All I'm just saying. Remember when y'all was getting that 6ix9ine, like, yo, why you gotta bring up Cardi B in your case? Why the fuck Meg bringing up me in her case? Ain't snitching on me, man. Yeah, right, man. Anyway, I'm cooling.
So yeah, he's saying that he's involved in the case in some kind of way. But yeah, you were out here, you involved yourself, you inserted yourself into it by putting that information out there. And so maybe they do want to question him about where did you get that information. It's kind of like when Tasha inserted herself into the R. Kelly situation, right? You guys don't know who's listening to you. I feel like that what Tory's people are trying to do is influence a certain public opinion about Megan, and I think we get that. But that doesn't mean that that's right and that that's what they're supposed to be out here doing, right? And someone was saying that his page went down. I think the Wiley show, that his page was deleted, but that was on April Fool's Day, so people didn't know if that was a joke or if it really went down. But I don't. Some people were saying Megan may have had something to do with it. I know the guy that's behind YouTube. He was a part of Def Jam, and he has a relationship with Jay-Z. So it's kind of, y'all might want to watch how you be playing with people. You might want to watch how you playing with folks, because I believe he is still over YouTube, right? What's his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Anyway, and remember, he was over Jeff Jam. He's mentored Jay Z, so Jay Z is managing Megan. So the connection is there. So you might want to be careful how you playing with people, right? And it's kind of like Jeff just said, people could be coming back on people, and they really don't. They try to take the high road, but people don't always give you, a choice in some of these things, right? So I don't know. I don't know if his channel really went down. It could have went down over some of the language that he uses towards women as well. He's very disgusting at times when he's talking, and then he tries to blame it on alcohol. If you guys are familiar with him, then you know what I'm talking about. But he's saying that he's now involved in her case. Yeah, you should be, since you had so much information about it that you should not have had. And I'm almost positive every time they go to court, they tell them not to talk about anything that's going on in there. And just like they tell the jury, like, why would you come out here and start talking about stuff that's in process, right? And some of this evidence haven't even been presented that you claim that he has. So how do you even know about it? But anyway, I digress. Let me know what you guys think about all these stories in the comments. If you know why DJ Academics page was taken down, and how do you feel about what he's saying about her inserting him into her case, and the rest of the stories. And I'll see you guys in the next video.